Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a sort of overall series review from what I've seen so far of the CW's Arrow television series after 2 seasons. All right, good stuff. So I've been meaning to do this one for a really long time. People have been asking me constantly, Trev, why don't you review Arrow? Have you been watching Arrow? What are your thoughts on this series? Now, here's the thing. I really would like to get caught up on Arrow and just marathon and watch every single episode of the series. Here's the problem. There's too many damn episodes, which usually is a good thing. Usually it's like, yeah, I want to see as many episodes as possible of something I like. However, I can't keep up with the show. They have put out 2 seasons of 23 episodes a season, with each episode being like, what, over 40 minutes. So you're looking at hour-long episodes with commercials times 46 episodes. 46 hours of footage for Green Arrow in just 2 seasons. Absolutely incredible what the CW has been doing with Arrow. So that said, I've basically seen the first few episodes of the first season, and I've seen some highlight videos and trailers and different things. And I watched an episode from the second season, the first episode. So I've kind of browsed the wiki. I've seen what there is out there. I just unfortunately don't have time to marathon the whole thing through. I wish I did, because I really would. Because I love superheroes. You guys know I love comic books. Green Arrow is one of the best characters in the DC universe. He's the equivalent of Marvel's Hawkeye, but I want to say he's bigger than Hawkeye, even though, of course, the success of the Avengers movie has sort of catapulted Hawkeye with, of course, the Jeremy Renner, is it Renner or whatever, performance as Hawkeye. So basically, Green Arrow he's like DC's version of that, but he's bigger in the comic. I want to say he's a bigger character in the comic book realm than Hawkeye is, even though in terms of the movies, maybe not, because we haven't seen him actually, in a movie yet. Hopefully, if they do a Justice League, they'll think to include him. With the success of Arrow, I think it wouldn't hurt, that's for sure. So in terms of DC's track record with television series, I haven't been the biggest fan, to tell you the truth. I used to watch Smallville when it first got started. I thought the first few seasons were pretty good, and I kept looking forward to seeing things happen later on, to seeing Clark become Superman and seeing him, in some great battles. And eventually they went ahead and they did get around to it, but it took them like 10 years to do it. It wasn't up until the last few seasons of Smallville where they started to bring in some more comic book bad guys like Doomsday, some of the others, but he never really became like full-fledged Superman. He it was a blur, all that kind of stuff. I personally wasn't really into it. There was the constant love, love concentration with him and Clark, and I personally wasn't the hugest fan of Smallville. I thought it had good potential, but I didn't like the way they handled it. Now, Arrow is on a totally different level than Smallville, and I'm not going to be comparing it to Smallville. I'm just basically going through what we've seen so far. I mean, there have been some other DC-influenced shows. We're going to be seeing Gotham come up soon. We're going to be seeing Constantine come up soon, and The Flash as well. And definitely, I think Arrow is one of the best of them. Definitely one of the best of them. Now, in terms of views for the show, the show started out about 3 million views an episode, and now it's kind of gone down to just over 2. But luckily, they produce enough episodes that it's still profitable for the CW, and the CW is still doing it. So that's good, and probably good ratings for that network. That said, in terms of the show itself, okay, so here's basically what I want to say. I do wish they had kind of condensed it a bit. That way I could kind of keep up, because the amount of episodes is just too many. But if you have the time, if you're able to keep up with it, then it's a good thing for you. It's just for me, that's kind of my thing where I don't have any time. But anyway, it's really commendable that they produce that many episodes and that most of them are good. It's pretty amazing. When we usually talk about comic book character type shows like this, you always get into the problem of budget. Budget becomes the biggest problem instantly. Because if you look at big superhero movies like the Avengers and the others, look at the budgets for these things. Hundreds of millions of dollars go into these movies, and to see a superhero on the small screen with a budget that's so small is really difficult, I think, for studios to do. For example, rather than them just doing a Batman TV series, they opt to do a Commissioner Gordon TV series. Rather than them doing a Superman TV series, they opt to do a Smallville. They try to pick, kind of like stories that are easier to do, that aren't that epic in terms of scale, because they don't have the budget to cover it. Now, CG's gotten cheaper over the years, so it's kind of gotten easier for them to do that, and we're seeing that in The Flash, too. There's some great CG, there's some great effects and stuff like that does look really good. Arrow has surprised me, because I didn't think that it was going to be as good as it actually is, as well done as it actually is, and how big it feels, in terms of the show itself. In the second season, we get Deathstroke, who is an excellent villain. The guy who plays him, I don't know his name, but his voice is really raspy and really low, which is a little weird, to be honest. But it makes him sound a little bit more badass, I guess, Slade. But definitely, I like the storyline from the second season, and how you get a whole sort of city wide type superhero situation. Is really cool, and like I was saying before, it's something that is difficult for them to do on the small screen, because it seems very large scale, the TV series. And there's a lot of that in Arrow, where you'll have flashbacks of different events that happened when he was on the island, and different things like that, and things out of chronological order, and Slade is part of that, and it's just done really well. It looks good, it looks clean, it's kind of like a TV show Arrow version of Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. It's like a DC, really clean, realistic looking, high quality series that is done on the CW, and they're producing a lot of episodes of it. So I can definitely see why people are just raving about the show, asking for more reviews on it from me. And I wish I had the time, guys. I wish I could do more, but this is pretty much the best you're going to get for now. That said, I have been really impressed with everything I've seen so far from Arrow. The only little things I have with it, little gripes I have with it, is sometimes some parts of it can feel a little bit cheesy. Some of the acting is not always on par. Some of the effects aren't the greatest all the time. Some of the costumes look a little strange, like Black Canary. It's always weird, like, for example, Watchmen, where we see characters in live action wearing actual, like, regular comic book costumes. Sometimes it just looks weird. It's like sort of why we've never seen the X-Men in the movies wear their uniforms. We never see Wolverine, well, I don't know about Days of Future Past, but so far, wear his ears and his mask and everything like that in the yellow jumpsuit or anything, because it looks so strange, it looks so cheesy. Sometimes in Arrow we get costumes and things like that just look a little bit, a little bit. Some of the acting is sometimes a little bit not always on point, but for the most part, and considering they're doing that many episodes, 23 a season, and there's going to be a third season, I think they're doing a pretty incredible job, and it's turned out a lot better than I thought it was going to tell you the truth. So in terms of the score overall for the series, from what I've seen anyway, based on what I originally had expected for it, based on what I originally thought it would be, I guess I'm going to give it, I'm going to say, man, this is a tough one. Because they're creating so much quantity, so many episodes, we have to lower our standards in terms of quality. For example, if a TV series puts out only 6 episodes, those better be 6 amazing episodes, right? If a series puts out 23 episodes, okay, we can understand if they have to slow it down at parts. We can understand if each episode is not the same quality as 6, in one season. So based on the quantity that they're going for, kind of a quantity approach versus a quality approach, and based on what they've done with something that I thought would be really difficult to do, I'm going to give Arrow a solid 8.7 out of 10. So almost a 9. Really, really good in terms of, what potential there is, because, I just think it's really hard for these networks to do these types of shows, and I'm really impressed that CW is going to be trying to do a Flash 2. I mean, if they keep expanding like that, we could even see some kind of Justice League show, or something like that, where they keep adding on. I don't know about rights issues with Batman because of the other series being on a different network and stuff, but maybe they could expand out further. We could see some more shows. But definitely, I can see why everyone is so interested in Arrow, and I'm going to try to check out a few more episodes of it at the least, because I think it is really well done. And I love superheroes, so you can't go wrong. That's pretty much a general overview review for the series. I'm going to say it gets an 8.7 due to the fact that they're putting out such quantity. I can definitely see where they're building quite a big fan base pretty fast. So definitely, if you guys haven't checked out Arrow, I would say check it out. Just beware. Sometimes there's little things, and because they do so many episodes, there are some slow parts. There is some more heavy character concentration between different characters coming and going, things like that. And there isn't always, the big budget, high action type thing because, again, it's restricted. But they do a really good job for what I think is possible on the types of these small type budgets that a show like this would get. So let me know what you guys think about the CW's Arrow, and The Flash, of course, starts this fall. I'm definitely going to be checking out The Flash, giving it a try, seeing if it turns out as well as Arrow, because The Flash is another really big, really cool DC hero. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. This quick review. See you for the next one. This is Trav, as always, saying peace.